What if the one thing trying to save your life was the one thing you couldn't touch, couldn't talk to, and could barely even see? Marcus had always been the kind of guy who paid attention to details. Crooked picture frames. A coffee mug moved 2 inches to the left. The way his neighbor always left for work exactly 7 minutes late on Tuesdays. He noticed everything, so when his shadow started moving wrong, he noticed that too. It began on a Wednesday. He was walking home from the office, streetlights just flickering on, when he stopped to check his phone. His shadow stopped a full second late. He stared at the pavement, blinked, assumed he was exhausted, and kept walking. By Friday, it was impossible to ignore. He raised his left arm. His shadow raised its right. He turned toward the building on his left. His shadow turned toward the alley on his right. And it wasn't erratic or random. It was deliberate, purposeful. Like something wearing the shape of him had its own agenda entirely. Marcus tried telling his friend Danny about it over the phone that night. Danny laughed for about 45 seconds straight and suggested Marcus cut back on the late-night documentaries. So Marcus stopped mentioning it, but he started watching. He noticed his shadow would flatten and stretch toward certain doorways when he walked past them, like it was pointing. It would recoil from specific people on the street, shrinking small and tight against his feet, as though trying to disappear. And 3 times in 1 week, it pressed itself against a wall ahead of him, arms spread wide, like a warning, like a warning, like a wall, like it was telling him to stop. The 3rd time that happened, Marcus stopped. He was about to cross an intersection. 2 seconds later, a truck blew through a red light at a speed that would have killed him instantly. His shadow had saved his life, and Marcus still had no idea what it was, what it wanted, or why it had chosen him. He started carrying a notebook, logging every deviation, every gesture, every warning. He began to see the pattern. His shadow wasn't just reacting to immediate dangers. It was steering him away from a sequence of events, each redirect connected to the next. It was like being navigated through a minefield by something that could see the entire map, and he could only see 3 feet ahead. The question that kept Marcus awake every single night was not how. He had accepted that science had no answer yet, and maybe never would. The question was why now? What was at the end of this path his shadow was pulling him toward? Was it something he needed to find? Someone he needed to reach? Or was his shadow desperately trying to pull him back from something he had already unknowingly set in motion? Because Marcus had started to notice something new, something that made his stomach drop every time he thought about it. On cloudy days when there was no light source strong enough to cast a shadow at all, he could still see it faint thin, watching, and lately it had started to look afraid.